Welcome back. Democrats, it would appear, are having a moment as they hammer Republicans over the Epstein saga. Well, on that point, here was New Jersey Democratic Senator Cory Booker.
They're running out of town because it's clear the Speaker believes that their membership in the Republican caucus over there is so fragile that they cannot withstand simple debate, discussion about the topic of Jeffrey Epstein.
Joining me now at the family table, former communications director for Vice President Kamala Harris, Ashley Etienne, and Kevin Sheridan, who was a senior advisor for the Romney-Ryan 2012 campaign and many other political exertions, which we respect. Good to have you both here. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
So, whatever Cory Booker says, I'm sure some in the audience would say, oh, that's just a partisan Democrat harping on Republicans in a moment of distress. But the House has to operate with a Rules Committee. And when the Rules Committee can't function, the House floor can't function. House Republicans, Kevin, had some legislation they wanted to put on the floor that they thought was super important, but they couldn't because they couldn't get agreement among themselves on that vital committee because of the Epstein matter. So this is having legislative ramifications. It's not just a political food fight.
Yeah, now they're going away for like 6 weeks.
Right. With Tom Massey and Ralph Norman saying, Mr. Speaker, that's not going to solve the problem.
Well, they're going to go home and they're going to hear it from their constituents, and their noisiest constituents are going to be all over the Epstein stuff. The problem that this is, it's not a benefit to the Democrats, though, other than to watch, kind of schadenfreude that Republicans are a mess on this right now, because the people that care about Epstein aren't going to go vote Democratic. They might not vote. Maybe you're getting something out of that.
Out, right. Which is a problem frustrated. It's a separate problem.
Right. But they're not suddenly going to turn Democratic. I know plenty of them. They're not going there. But yeah, this thing has been handled very oddly. I'd be interested to see what they go home saying about it. They're saying it's everything from a Democratic trick to, there's nothing to see here. They've got to get that tightened up. I think more stuff is going to come out because it just has to.
I mean, it came out today. I mean, the Wall Street Journal released...
Well, having a phone number in his phone doesn't make it, that he was...
Well, as a lawyer would say,
he was doing anything with kids on an island.
But the reality is we don't know the answer to that. We've seen pictures of President Trump with Epstein and with young girls. So I don't think anyone's going to
If that was in any file, that would have come out under the Biden DOJ.
I don't think anyone is going to buy Donald Trump and AG Bondi's line on this issue anymore. And it's not just Democrats, to your point. It's Democrats and Republicans that have been asking the White House and the Attorney General, what are you hiding? Why are you protecting pedophiles? Why are you protecting billionaire sex traffickers? And now we know why, because Donald Trump is actually named in the document. So since May, both Donald Trump and Pam Bondi have been lying to the American people about who's actually in this report, saying that he wasn't in it, that Pam Bondi never told him that. We're now learning that all of this is a lie. And this is not going to go away for Republicans. And the point is, it's not to move Republican voters over to voting for Democrats, because I agree with you there. The point is to keep needling Donald Trump and raising the question, is he one of the alleged pedophiles?
Well, those are your words, not mine.
Be careful what you wish for. There's going to be more Democrats that come out than Republicans.
And that's fine, but they're not sitting presidents that are lying about being listed in a document.
We all know that they were friends at one time. They had a falling out. He kicked them out of Mar-a-Lago. So if nothing's come out yet, nothing ever will.
Can I just say one thing, though? I hate to disparage the Speaker, but it's also despicable and disgusting that Speaker Johnson, who claims to be a devout Christian, would look the other way on such a critical issue about exploiting children. I find that very deplorable, and I don't think he's going to get away with this, and I think Democrats are going to keep putting this whole issue around his neck.
There's other political news I want you to chew over very briefly. Roy Cooper, according to Axios, is going to run for Senate in North Carolina. What does that mean, Ashley? You believe it?
I do believe it, and I think he should. I think he's...
Former governor?
Great candidate. He had made some incredible headway.
That's an important seat to flip for Democrats if they want to try to regain control of the Senate.
And right now, the good thing is that the DSCC is out fundraising.
Democratic Senatorial Campaign
is out raising the Republican Senatorial Campaign. So it's looking really positive for the Senate right now, and Roy Cooper helps with that.
And Mike Lawler, as everyone pretty much figured, was not going to run for governor in New York.
Need to keep that seat.
Right. And Elise Stefanik is going to, even though she hasn't announced.
Yeah, and she's going to win re-election, presumably, and then do it, I think. And I think she'll be a strong candidate.
Against Kathy Hochul?
Yeah.
Why?
She knows that state. She knows that part of the state really well. I think she plays well in, with Jewish voters in New York. And, it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be a lot closer than people think.
I want to play for.
Should hang back because he does, on occasion, does the Democrats, does Republicans a disservice by being critical of the president.
Very quickly, I want to play for you sound, and we had some yesterday from Megyn Kelly's podcast with Rahm Emanuel about Democrats and issues and language. Listen.
Can a man become a woman?
Can a man become a woman? No.
Thank you.
No.
That's so easy. Why don't more people in your party just say that?
Because I'm now going to go into a witness protection plan.
All right, you got 30 seconds. 15 for you, 15 for you.
Yeah, will we ever see him again? This is a great test case for the Democrats. Can you get away with saying that in the current Democratic Party? I say probably not, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to speak to the question at hand that Megyn posed to him, but I think he's absolutely right that Democrats' mistake we make is we make certain assumptions about voters, that we actually don't have any intimacy any longer with our own voters, that we're shooting in the dark when it comes to the issues that we think are important to them. And I think this was one of those issues where we bled base vote voters in this last election because of this particular issue.
Ashley Etienne and Kevin Sheridan, thank you very much. I appreciate it.